Remember, when we have two parentheses together, it means we're multiplying, right? And so last class we learned how to multiply polynomials. So right here, I set it up as a box method. You could have also set it up like this. Remember, we split up x plus 2, broke up, and then x plus 4 gets both of them. Bring back some memories. Or you can do FOIL method, whichever method you picked if you want to use. Do. Make sure you have that in your book. So I see a lot of purple papers. That's good. Make sure you're keeping these in that survival guide so that you can refer back. So I'm going to go over. This is just saying x squared minus 1x wants us to combine like terms. What is x times x? X squared. And you can see if I did it this way, x times x squared. What's 4 times x? 4x. If I did it right here, I would get the same thing. 2 times x, 2x. If I did it this way, I would get the same thing. And 2 times 4, 8. And then I combine like terms. So what's 4x plus 2x? 6x. A lot of people on their quiz multiply. Make sure we're adding when we combine like terms. And then I just bring everything else down. So now they want us to combine this and that answer. Who can raise their hand and tell me which ones have the same last name or which x squared and x squared? If I have one x squared and I have another x squared, how many x squares do I have? 2x squared. A lot of people are multiplying or adding the exponents only to get your. Here we're just adding. Who can raise their hand and tell me other two that we can combine? Good. Negative 1x. I tell you to drop that negative and 6x. What's 6 minus 1? Or negative 1 plus 6? 5x. And then 8 is all by its lonely self, so 8 is the only constant, so I just meant it. And the question just said, show us how that up there equals that. That was the question. I showed my work, that's it. So here it just says, show how this and that are equal. Just go down here, we ended up. I know you guys have been here for a while. But the first thing we're going to do is there's 2 parts to this lesson. We're factoring today, so we're actually going to be this answer, something like this, and getting it to look like that. So we're actually working backwards. So going from here to there. And so what we're going to do is everyone, a lot of you guys have it, well, like that by accident. After all the stapled packets, I'm going to pause. I don't need to listen. So first, starting with this common factor, so example 1 and 2. So we're looking at example 1 and so I'm going to do the first 3 with you. Second one, I'm going to show you the long way to do it. I like doing it the second way. If you're more of a visual learner, like the box method you like, and you like seeing things in action, that might be easier for you. If you're more of a trick sort of person, and faster is better, and I can write, then example 3 might be better. So I'm going to start with just, yeah. If you can raise your hand and tell me what's the DCF? Yeah. What's factor mean? Perfect. What's the greatest number that those numbers can go into, right? Greatest common factor. So if we're looking at 42, what's the greatest number that I can divide by number? 2, right? Because I can divide 2 by 2, 42 by 2. The 2 is going to be part of my GCF. I'm going to put it outside right here. So I'm going to put 2 right here. I'm also going to be under each. So I'm writing all the numbers for this lesson. If you're doing color coding, I'm using all the numbers or the code are all going to be. Now, do they share any letters? No. So we can't put that in our GCF. So our GCF is just. divide. So what's 2 divided by 2? 1. And then what's left over? X. Or you can just put X. Plus, that's a plus sign. What's 42 divided by 2? 21. And what's left over? 1. That's my answer. So, A1, I'm giving it to optional. A lot of people want to start with A1 on IXL because it's just seeing this number right here. Like they'll give two terms and say, what's the GCF? So I'll give you an extra 100 if you guys want to do that. And then A2 is going to be this whole answer. So let's go to this one. This one's a little bit different. So I'm going to write out, if you're color coding, I'm going to write out the numbers. Now, how many X's are in X to the fourth? 4, right? This is a long way, so I'm going to do 4X. If you don't like this way, you can look at this way and decide which one you want to do. And then how many X's are in X to the 3? I just wrote it out, right? I didn't really do anything yet. I just wrote out, if I add something to a power, that just means I'm multiplying it by itself that many times. Now let's find the GCF of just the numbers. You can raise your hand and tell me the greatest number that can go into 424. Raising your hand. 4. A lot of people say 2. 2 is 1, but it's not the greatest one, right? I'm going to put 4 under just like this. Now, when we have variables, we just see how many do they have in common. So how many, if there's 4X's here and 3X's here, how many do they share? How many do they have in common? 3. Does everyone get that? Because there's 3 here, and these guys are in it. So I'm going to put the 3 X's down here. And how do you think I'm going to write it out here? X to what? Cool. So that's my G. Now, anything divided by itself, what number? 1. It basically crosses out, right? So what's 4 divided by 4? 1. You can write 1 right here if you want. And then every X that has a little buddy underneath, we can cross out. So this one could cross out. This guy can cross out. This guy has a partner. They only can have a partner with the same letter. Who's left over? Just X. So X is just left right there. Then we do it again. What's 24 divided by 4? 6. And then what happens to these X's? They all have a buddy, so there is no X in the answer. That's your answer right there. That term doesn't. Yeah. That's fine. You're not going to see that because most of your milestone is going to be. So you're not going to ever see 1X as an answer choice, but if you wrote it like on an open end, they would take it. Good question. Speaking of milestone, I put it on Remind, but on your Google Classroom is a sign up. I will give extra credit. If you want to come in, I'm going to have 2 dates in February, 2 in March, and 3 in April, where you come in just for a couple hours, and beforehand you'll take a practice test, and then we're just going to go over it and just go over anything maybe you forgot. So maybe radicals, maybe conversions, and you'll just be in different groups. And halfway through, if you want to go to English, and you'll get extra credit for both our classes, we won't be splitting that time. So you'd spend an hour and a half with me, and then you go over to Klein and spend an hour and a half with her. Or if you only need one or the other, you can do it because you have a milestone in both classes. So if you want to sign up, please make sure, because I want to see how many people there are. If there's only like 2 people, then they're not going to let me hold it that day, and I'm going to have to cancel it. So I want to make sure I can say, here are all the people that signed up. So on Google Classroom, and I'll put that on up there so you can sign up and say if you want to come that day. It's only 3 hours, and you get extra credit. It's on Saturday. It's super relaxing. I mean, it's not really anything too hard. You'll take the practice test, you're just going over questions, and any help you need, there will be people able to help you. And maybe you only need to stay an hour and a half. You can, or maybe you only need to stay an hour here. You can just stay an hour here. Maybe you only need to go to English. You can just go to English. But I would suggest that milestone is 20% of your final grade, and you can't retake it. Sound good? Okay. So I'm going to go over here and just show you the shortcut way. Whichever way you want to use, you'll get the same exact answer. Right here, I have 8 squared colors. Ready though. And b, if I b, it's b to the what? First power, right? Make sure to put those in 1. Then 6, a to the what? First, right? That square only goes. So who can raise their hand and tell me what's the GPS of b and c? Raising two, right? So 2 would be on the outside of my answer. I'm going to put my answer. Now I know I'm going to be dividing by 2. I know that's going to be part of my answer. Now, how many A's do they share? If this one has 2 and this one has 1. 1A. Maybe put A to the first power. Put an A right there. How many B's do they share? 1. So I'm going to put that's my G right outside of there. The trick is if you don't put starting out letters, you know how we added when we multiplied? Added the exponents. Now we subtract variable, just subtract the exponent. I always think of that big division sign as a subtraction. So I would do A to the 2, so I do minus 1. What's 2 minus 1? 1. So what's left is just A, the 1, A, but I forgot about this one. What's 8 divided by 2? 4. Put A to 1. What's 1 minus 1? 0. So I wouldn't put anything. I could just cross it out. Anything to the 0 power is what number? 1. Remember that? Anything to the 0 power is 1. Minus, what's 6 divided by 2? 3. What happens with my A? So it's 1 minus 1. Crosses out. And it's 1. What's 2 minus 1? 1. That's my answer. So whichever way you want to do it, if you'd rather watch. So I want you to just try the last one on your own. There's no method you want to use, and I'll give you the stamp on that one. And then after you want to use this one, just explain in your own words. So when we go back and study for the milestone, you remember how to do it. If you want to do it this way, I just put a little synopsis of what we just did. So take a minute, try to do the last question, stamp, and then write exactly. So that's just. One second. So when you're done with my words, room, for your own words, exactly. All right. So, right here we have a little synopsis for you. We're going to be going to the next page. I'm showing you how to factor. So what we did this morning, we're going to be so basically, if you x equaling 1, that means that first term x squared needs to be 1. That's what we're going to do. Don't think that means that will make sense. So, everyone done with this up here? Everyone should have gotten 4xy and then 5xy minus 1. Don't forget that minus 1 because anything divided by itself is just 1. Okay, so we're going to be going to the next part right here. I'm just going to show you through these examples how to do it. Is label. What's my A? So I have ax squared, my parent function, plus bx plus c. And we need to make sure everything's on the same side. Everything's on the same side because we have no equal sign, right? You don't need to do that. Then we make sure, is there a GCF, like a third number that I could divide out of all three of these? No, because my A is already 1. I know automatically if there's no number next to this, that there's no GCF. So automatically, I know my A. What's that invisible number next to x squared? 1. So put A equals 1. What would your B be? You put 11. And your C? Then we draw this little cross like this. The variables because A, B, and C, see how A just means the coefficient, etc. C means the coefficient. So this is my parent function. I'm just writing what you said. Just like when I say this, you know it's the number next to it. 5x, coefficient 5. Just like that. We just use the numbers. Then we make our ACB table. So it looks like this. Automatically, if you see A21, you know your list is going to be a whole lot less steps than next. Right here, figure out what is A times C, what is 1 times 18? 18. Notice today, you should only have to look at that number, that's C. Because 1 times 18, that's C. So up there, you're going to put times 18. And then B, what is my B? Positive 11. So now what you're doing is you're looking at that top number 18, right? I'm finding two numbers that can multiply to 18. You can raise your hand and tell me two numbers that multiply to 18. There it is. 6 and 3. We could do another one. 3 and 9. 9 and 2. Another one. One more. 18 and 1. Now out of those, which one adds to positive 11? Ding, 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 ding. Those are my factors. So you're going to put those two right here, 2 and 9. I know they're going to be positive. 2 times 9 equals positive 18, and 2 plus 9 equals positive 11. We're figuring with negative. Some people that's not your thing, but we'll be practicing. Everyone get what I just did. Last step all you do is you fill in the factors. So today you're only dealing with an A is 1, so you're just going to be having X's or whatever the letter is. And so if these are positive, I would do a plus or a minus. And it doesn't matter what order. Plus 2, plus 9. And just like That's how I talk. That's my answer. That makes sense. Okay, let's do another one. I'm going to go to do that one under. Now you see that this sign is different, right? So let's start with A. You can raise your hand and tell me what's A. 1. And I know since A is 1, there's no T here. What is and negative? Now we're dealing with. And so I make my X and I make my A times T. Little X right there. And so what am I going to be multiplying to? What is 1 times negative 15? Negative 15, right? So I'm multiplying negative 15. And adding to what? Right? So if you're good with math and you're good with negative, you can just think, okay, what two numbers multiply to negative 15 and add to 15? If you're not, if you see this as negative, you're thinking, what two numbers can I multiply to 15 that are 2 apart? So either way you want to think about it. What two numbers are 2 apart? 5 and 3, right? This is the top. 5 and 3, right? You guys said negative 5 and 3 are right? But that was positive. That means the bigger numbers in plus, which is or 5 or 5. So positive 5. And what's this one going to be? Negative. Ding, 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 ding. So, if you're good with math and negatives, that's fine. But if you see this negative, you know now which numbers are 2 ways that I can multiply and get 50. So it would be 5 and 3. And so now I just write it. I'm going to use W. W plus 5, W minus 3. If you put W minus 3 and W plus 5, it would be the exact same answer. Doesn't matter the order. This is signs are correct. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to do this one with you, and then I'm going to do example 6 to put on your. So, eventually, you'll be able to tell, okay, I'm multiplying to C and adding to C. If you guys like to break it down this way, you can, but eventually you're not going to have to. What we'll do. Where is my A here? 1. What's my B? Negative 6, and my C? 8, right? And so I draw my X, my 8, C. And what is 1 times 8? 8. And what am I adding to? Negative 6. Now, if I'm multiplying to a positive number, they have to be fine. But can I get 2 positive numbers, add them together, and possibly get a negative answer? No. So what do the 2 signs have to be? Negative. So up here we know if this is positive, we know they have to be the same sign. So automatically, I know they both have to be minus. And then you could just go, okay, what 2 numbers multiply to 8 and add to 6? Negative 4 and negative 2, or you could just think 4 and 2, and those are both negative. Ding, ding. So I just fill it in, 4 and 2. That's my answer. Does that make sense? Try the example above it, 6 on your own. And then I'm just going to walk you through more examples. So why can I use positive 4 and 2? Because 4 plus 2 would be positive. If this was positive, tell me if it's positive, right? But since it's negative 6, I don't have. Bars can come around stamp. So he's just looking for that top one. And when you're done, write however you want to do it. When A equals 1, I find the factors that multiply to C, or if you're going to remember A times C, and add. So last thing you're going to do is write your little summary, and then we're going to get that practice packet. I'm going to go through a few examples. Today. your opening practice packet. And I'm done. Yeah, just put it inside your notebook for now because next time we're going to be doing. I don't want to see hard. And it's going to help, but I don't. Just make sure you can grab it and after. Okay. What was our answer? X plus 7, X plus 2, or M plus 7, M plus 2. Did everyone get that? Or M plus 2, M plus 7? Okay. So, I'm going to start with 13. So the first four is just like what we learned. I'm going to do a couple. 14, and 25. Circle those three. I'm going to do those. They're right up here. Yep, circle those. I'm going to go over them. 13, 14, 25. Right there. How is that equal 0? You guys see that right here? Equal 0? That just means you're factoring. So right there, if that's messing with your little noggin, just cross it out. Factoring like normal. So I don't really need to go over this. We just did this. But x equals 0 is messing with you. Just cross it out. That's where we're going. Now, when it's equal to 14x, like this one, I need to move it over, right? It always equals 0 or not have an equal sign. So how would I move 14x to the other side? It's positive. Subtract. So you're just doing one extra step. Now I need to figure out where in the world am I going to put that guy. So I have ax squared, right? This function plus bx plus. The first should be whatever's next to x squared. So this x squared, I'm going to just bring it down here first. Then the number next to x. What is next to x? Negative 14, right? So I just bring them down, and then plus. And then you can go ahead and factor. So I added those in there. If they're confusing you, start with the regular ones. We're practicing in class, and then you can get to it. We'll be practicing it through the. Any questions on those two? How we set those up? It's number 13 and 14. And so the last one I'm going to go over with you is 25. You guys see how A is 1? So A has to be 1 today because that's all we learned, right? So we know we're going to have to divide by a GCF. So what is our GCF? I'll come back to this now. What is our GCF of these three right here? So that's going to put 4. We know because we're only dealing with this number's 1. So to get that number 1, I need to divide them all by 4. Now, when I divide something, where do I put in the parentheses? Where do I put that number? In the outside, right? Like what we did. So that number is going to go on the outside, and I'm going to get my new equation. You end up getting x squared minus 18x plus 81, and then you factor like normal. So what two numbers multiply to 81 and add to 18? Goes down 99, right? And since it has to add to negative 18, they would be negative 9. So my answer would be x minus 9 and x. That's still the answer. That makes sense. Okay, so if you guys need help with it, I'll be walking around. If you guys need like if you want to work with a small group up here, we can do that. If no one needs that, then I'll just come around. But my answer is up here, just like last time. If you come up here, you're stamping your own there unless it's set days for Z10. But from now on, you're always just stamping yourself. So if you have a question or you kind of want to see something like 20, a lot of people are getting caught up on. You guys see 20? Right here, it's step. So it's only 2 terms. What's A? 1. Is there a B? What's B? 0, right? There is no B. And what's C? Negative 36. So basically, what two numbers are the same number that can multiply to 36? 6 and 6, right? What's 6 minus 6? 0. So it'll be something like that. When that middle term's missing, it just means you're adding. But don't get too thrown off with that. I want you to start with number 1. Start with just regular factors. That's all you can on AA4 is just drilling kill. So maybe we'll spend like 15 minutes on this, get as many stamps as you can. Then after 15 minutes, if you want to switch to cells and start one of those 3, you're welcome to do that until 10:50 is when we're taking the quiz. I don't know. It's right in my desk. I'll see it. I don't trust you. All right. Any questions other than that?